The events that occurred on the last lap of the penultimate race before the championship at Phoenix honestly were very, very bizarre. The most bizarre I will talk about next. What's up, guys? It's me. I hope you guys are having yourselves a really good day today, because you know what? So am I. On November 2nd. This is the morning after the second to last race of the season at the Martinsville Speedway, which was the Xfinity 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series. And there were some really, really crazy things that took place. The one that I think a lot of people are talking about right now is Kevin Harvick missing the Final Four. It was crazy. I watched the replay of it, and when I first saw the Final Four, I was like, wait, where's Harvick? Where's Harvick? Because everybody, I bet, had both Hamlin and Harvick, the two best drivers of the entire season, be in the Final Four. It was just Hamlin. Out of those two drivers, it was just Hamlin. So I tried to figure out what happened to Harvick, and there's a video of Harvick trying to get the one spot that he needed to get into the Final Four. If he got by Kyle Busch, he would have been in the Final Four. He tried as hard as he could. He dove it into turn 3. He got just a little bit loose. Yes, he did, just a little bit if you watch his onboard. And then turns right up into Kyle Busch, turns him around. That also screws up Harvick. He goes around, he backs his car into the wall. Kyle Busch crosses the line 9th. And Harvick finished the race in 17th. And that basically nailed the coffin to Harvick's championship hopes. That event that had taken place last night on the last lap is the most bizarre thing that I've ever seen in the playoffs, in the current era of the chase, which, you know, is playoffs. But really, in all honesty, I am very, very shocked, as a lot of people are as well, that Harvick is not in the championship 4, because if you go back and take a look at his stats for this year alone, this year is his best season ever, really. This bests his 2018 season by just one win. And the stats goes as follows for this year: 9 wins, 20 top 5s, 26 top 10s. Although he didn't lead any poles, he led 1,531 laps and has an average finish of 7.34. That's his personal best average finish since, 2018. Or no, 2015, actually, because his best average finish in 2015 was an 8.67. That's his second best average finish of his career. And also 2010 as well, because he got the same average finish within a 5-year difference between 2010 and 2015. 5 years later, he bests that with a 7.34. But anyways, this year statistically for Kevin Harvick has been an unbelievable year for him. And to see that he needed to get that one spot to get into the championship 4, and just coming up short, it really, really sucks. And that shows kind of in some way how screwed up this chase format is, where wins are most important. And also just it's almost like you make a mistake, you're in a pretty deep hole already, and you have to dig out of it either in the next race or two races from now, or else you would have no chance. I don't know, but just nonetheless, it's really crazy to know that Harvick is not in the Final Four. With the season that he's had this year, he should have been in the Final Four, but because of what happened, obviously he's not, and that really sucks for him because, as I said, this is the best season that they've ever had this year. And with Harvick and Stewart-Haas Racing, this is their best season since 2018, and also their first season together with Harvick and Stewart-Haas when they won the title. But nonetheless, it's pretty big from the standpoint of one of the two best drivers just came up short. So now you have Hamlin, who is the second best driver of the season. He has 7 wins this year, and he has a shot at the title. And Chase Elliott, who's also had himself a really good year, he makes the Final Four for the first time in his career. So for him, it's his first time. Everybody else, Hamlin, Logano, Keselowski, it's not their first time. So they've been in the Final Four before. For Elliott, it's his first. But for Harvick, it's the second time that he's missed the Final Four. The second time in his career. And I really don't know what else to add on to that. Really, it's just practically insane that he's just come up short, and unfortunately will not be able to race for a championship. But at this rate, you can't deny the fact that he's had himself a really good year. And I really don't think Harvick and the 4 team, Rodney Childers, and all of the Stewart-Haas Racing camp over on the 4 group and the 4 team, they have nothing to be ashamed about, because they've had themselves a really, really, really good year this year. Racked up a lot of wins, a lot of top 5s, a lot of top 10s, led a lot of laps, and have always been in the conversation all year long, especially after the drivers were off for a couple months because of the pandemic. But, you know, it sucks, but at the end of the day, Stewart-Haas Racing and Kevin Harvick, they've got nothing to be ashamed about. They can go into this last race, nothing to lose. They can just race for the win and just go all out this year, and just go all out in their final race of the 2020 season, and come into 2021, carry that same momentum that they had this year, and rack up a few more wins, and maybe get some redemption, win the title next year. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of NASCAR Hot Take. Coming up in a couple of days, I will be predicting the champion of all 3 series, so Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. So I will pre-record that a little bit later on in the week, so Tuesday, and have it up by Wednesday, so the day before championship weekend rolls around. So be sure to keep your eyes open for that. But anyways, that's going to do it for episode 7 of NASCAR Hot Take. Thank you guys a lot for watching. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you have not considered subscribe yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. I'll see you in the next one.